G'day guys, are you anything like me and have a huge problem with storing timber and accumulating piles and piles of sheet goods and offcuts and then piling stuff out of the way where you can't actually get to it easy? If you want to see how I turn this storage problem into an awesome storage solution that covers off everything from storing sheet goods, long boards, offcuts, and everything in between, stick with me and I'll show you how I did it. G'day everybody, Kieran here from KJH Woodworking and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to go through how we are solving our timber storage issue at the moment, because as you can see behind me, we have stuff stacked everywhere at the moment. So we're going to go through and build a plywood cart in this video, and then in the next video we are going to build some timber cubbies, or I should say like pigeonhole type storage for all of our offcuts, as well as storage racking that's going to cover a whole wall in our workshop to get all of our sheet goods, boards and offcuts all stacked away neatly. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, as we'll be getting the second video out hopefully in a fortnight's time, as we try to put out new videos once a fortnight. Credit where credit's due, this is not my original idea. It is the Wood Whisperer, or Marc Spagnuolo from the Wood Whisperer's initial Ply Cart, which I've then modified to suit my space. So I will link his original video down in the description below. So if you're interested in that, check that out because it is quite helpful as well. But we've gone ahead and tweaked this to fit our space, as well as work in with the entire wall storage solution. So we'll jump on the computer and I'll show you the overall picture of what we're trying to achieve, and then we'll get stuck into building the Ply Cart, and then next fortnight's video we'll get stuck into the cubby and the racking scenario. So stay tuned. Okay, so I like to merge my love for computers and woodworking, so I draw everything. So I use SketchUp. So my plan here is metal rods in 90 by 45s and a ply cart, as you can see down the bottom, with some pigeonholes above it. Allows for lots of storage and a tool, so my drum sander will, my planer will sit underneath. I then take everything, I lay it flat on my sheets of ply, so effectively I get a cut list, and then throughout the build process I label everything with the corresponding color to make everything simple for installation, or assembly. So that's my process. Now that we've got everything drawn and color coded, let's head back into the workshop and start cutting all the ply up and getting ready for assembly. Okay, now that we've got those all cut, the next step is completely optional. So I spend more time in my shed than I do in my house, much to my wife's disgust. So I want things to look nice, even if it's shop furniture and even if it's just a ply cart. So I'm going to go through, fill any voids, sand it all back, and edge band everything. So I've got some iron-on edge banding. So it's just a thin ply edge banding with a glue adhesive on the back. So I've got that, and I'm just going to iron that on any face that needs it. So my number one tip for any edge banding is to go through all of your pieces and mark the sides that need edge banding. Otherwise you'll end up edge banding stuff you don't need to, and then edge banding is not cheap. So If you mark it, you're only edge banding what you need. Other tip is edge band before you take out any notches. So there's one piece that actually requires notching out, which is this one here. So I've marked where I actually need to take my notch, but I'm going to edge band first because currently my boards are 100 mil wide, but it may end up being 101, 102 mil. So I will edge band first, then reference off my piece what I actually need to notch. So let's go ahead, sand everything, fill any voids, make it all look nice, edge band what I need to, and we'll go from there. If you don't have someone to give you a hand, be sure to use bench vices, scrap woods, and clamps to hold stuff up, hold things together, because that will make life a lot easier rather than trying to balance things. Even if you put scraps together that are the same height to sort of balance the timbers, that'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so I have to make some notches for the bottom and top of this piece to fit around these two rails here. So I always like to mark them off the actual piece, so reference it off your workpiece rather than taking measurements and doing it when you do your all your cuts. So all I do is sit it in place and then line it up with where it's got to go, mark a quick line, top and bottom. And then that gives me a reference point exact to my rails. So if I have added edge banding, which I have in this case, so say I cut this at 100 mil, this may end up being at 100
100.5 or a 101 mil. Now that's referenced onto this piece, so my notches will be perfect every time.
Okay, so I just have some caster wheels that I'm going to put on it because my shed floor is relatively flat. Say if you had quite a slope, you should probably use a gate caster, which is basically a caster on a spring that goes up and down with your slab. So if it is very inconsistent, I'd highly recommend going to a gate caster. But mine is pretty level, so I've just used a regular caster wheel. So all I'm going to do is just mount that onto the bottom. I'm probably going to come in about 50 mil. So just mark center hole, and then we will pre-drill and screw them on top and bottom, and then we'll mount it onto the wall. I'm just using some timber roofing screws here, just because it's got a hex. I'll show you if I can get close enough. So it's just got a hex head, which gives us a wider base. So rather than using a countersunk screw, I've just gone with that because then it'll bite onto the metal base of the caster wheel a bit better. Beautiful. Now we will get that onto the ground, which I'm going to entrust with my wife's help because it's not going to be fun on my own. And we'll get that mounted to the wall and then load it up with some timber. Okay, so we've got the casters on and now it is time to mount the hinges. So your hinge has a little tab there. So the tab will go on the wall side. The long gate part will go on the back of the mount. So we're just gonna line it up and then pre-drill and throw some screws in. So we'll mount that on. The other thing I'm gonna do is my holes don't line up with my vertical uprights. So I am, once I've mounted it, going to drill out 2 additional holes and mount 2 screws in each vertical upright that are twice as long because I've only got 16 mil screws going into the actual back, and then I'll have 40 mil screws going into the uprights. So we'll do all of that. I've got 3 hinges going on here. Then we'll move it across to the wall, mount it to the wall, and then load it up. Okay, so that's the hinges on, so all 3 are mounted. Now I'll go rope my wife in to come and give me a hand to put this on the wall. So first thing I'm going to do is actually put some blocks under there to pack this end up 130 mil because that's the height of my wheels. So that'll just mean I can sit this on, slide it in place, level across the top. Might have to put some shims in there to get it level, and then we can get this screwed to the wall. Okay, so I'm still getting the whole hang of this filming thing, and I let my battery go flat when I was leveling this out. So all I've done is put some blocks in, then I've used some wedges to get it level. So it's level across the top. Now I'm gonna go ahead and screw it off to the wall. I'm going directly into a stud, and I'm using 38mm panhead screws. So we'll go ahead, screw it all off, and then we can get rid of the blocks, test that it opens and shuts properly, and then load it all up and get all my ply out of the way and get some order in this shed, which will be fantastic. Okay, so that's all screwed off, level, and now we can test it. Ouch, that hurt. Beautiful. We'll get that loaded up and everything's stored away, and call that section of this project complete. So next I will be doing like a sort of cubby style where I've got pigeonholes for all my short offcuts, as well as some racking for the rest of my timber. So we'll get that filled up and all the ply out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Well, that solves a massive problem for me. All my sheet goods are now stacked away in one easy location where everything is organized and accessible. So I can clearly see everything I've got there. It is very easy for me to get. And then all of my long sheet goods, I can open the roller door, slide out on this cart, and then pull out through the door. And then when I'm done loading and unloading, I just push it straight back against the wall, and it only takes up 600 mil off my wall space. So works a treat. And once the rest of the wall's filled in with storage, it's going to be fantastic. Great addition to the shed. One of those things that I wish I had done at the start, but I didn't, and now I'm regretting that. So onwards and upwards from here. So that concludes today's video. So that's stage one of my timber storage solution. So next step is the cubby across the top, as well as the racking. So if you want to see that, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and I'm hoping that comes out in a fortnight's time. And we can see that. If you like today's video, please hit the like button. That really helps me grow my channel, which is fantastic. And that allows me to keep creating more and more of these content videos. So if you like the video and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.